Hello, this is the Warp Forge with a special video. We have reached the 89-90 subscriber mark, so we're only 10 away from 100 subscribers, so thank you all who have stuck through me thick and thin. And thank you for your constructive criticism, for that's how this channel's made progression and gotten better through the quality of videos. So thank you all for putting your input into this channel. I wouldn't have got to the stage where I am without your guys' help, so I'm extremely thankful that you're here. So thank you for sticking through me thick and thin. Sorry about not producing daily content. I would love to, but real life gets in the way, unfortunately. Second off, apologies for one thing, which was when I hit the 50 subscriber mark, I said I would make content on a sci-fi skirmish game called Lockdown that I'm currently creating, and the problem with that was I've got background and I've got rules for it. The problem I had was immersion. To merge you guys with my game so that you would feel keen to play that game. That's where I've hit the stump. At first I thought, use other companies' miniatures to represent other people, well, to represent factions in my game. The problem with that for me was, as I was thinking on about it, yes, there's always copyright and stuff, but the problem is if I got past that, was the human mindset finds it hard to proxy at times. We can get by it, but it's not the ideal, especially when you're trying to get people enthusiastic about a game. So that was out of the cards, unfortunately. Second off was drawing. I don't know anybody who I could hire to draw, nor would I have the funds to have people hire for draw. I can draw myself to a degree, but the way I envisioned the game was to be realistic, so it would help ease up the immersion effect to know exactly what you're seeing and seeing something cool. But unfortunately I can't draw to that level either, so that idea was thrown out. The third idea was Photoshop and trying to get other bits in Photoshop. The problem with it is I don't have Photoshop nor a Mac, and I can get those resources easily at college, but the problem is it's college, therefore I'm prioritising revision, course and coursework over my wargame priorities, because they are prioritised far higher up the chain, because that's what happens, real life does get in the way. Woo. So that was out of the cards as well. The last idea was talking to you like this, talking to you guys and gals at home, or work, or whatever, like this. The problem with that idea was it doesn't help with really immersion. I can tell you the backstory, I can tell you the characters, I can tell you the rules, easy as pie, but it wouldn't help with the immersion. So unfortunately, because every option I've thought of is hit a dead end, I can't really show it, and therefore if I can't really show it, I'm not going to help get people keen on the game I'm creating. What I was hoping to do was type up all the rules on a Word or publish a document, turn it into a PDF and send it through into the Wargaming forums, as many as possible, as a beta test, because I don't want to strike at any dead ends, such as the Games Workshop goldmine of net lists and the meta game. That, to their degree, I didn't want. I wanted to beta test it with every person I could get a hold of, pardon me, and see if they thought if there was something too powerful, and anything too weak, anything that was, how would you say, any rules glitches or loopholes that people exploit, clamp down on them, make a tighter rule set, because tighter is always good for a faster game without flicking through pages of rulebook. So there's that, which I'm wanting to do. It's just finding the free time to do that. So hopefully I am wanting to do content on that, and when we reach 100 subscribers I want to do a lot of content on my steampunk fantasy war game, which is The Forgotten Realm. But at the moment it's a no-go until I've got a bit more free time. What I'm wanting for the... and I apologise for this glare because I've tried using this without the lamp, and the lamp just like... well, the lamp gets this glare, and without it, it's just too dark. So, unfortunately, what's next for this channel? And this goes with the ideals of this channel as well. This channel was always to give the hobby in general. What I mean by that, yes, I see that there are a lot of channels who do a lot of hobby stuff or a lot of wargaming stuff, and they never usually like mix the two ideas together, in a sense. And fair enough, fair play to those people, or those YouTube content creators. If that's what you prefer most, then all fine by it. But I wanted to show people the whole element of it all. I wanted to show people like up close pictures and detail of my own miniatures and friends' miniatures I'm painting before, all in detail, and I wanted to show people those same miniatures in combat in a battle report. To me, it's just getting the full effect, and it's just nice to see stuff that you've already seen, but this time in a different situation, actually fighting it out against others. So like I said, I wanted to give it a general, wider audience, and this comes into what's next for the channel. What I'm wanting to do is a lot more of this, where it's just me talking to you guys, and I would like to do a lot of rambling videos or discussion videos, whichever how you view them, on topics about the hobby and the games and gaming in general. I would like to do more on like mini wargaming sit-and talks. I would like to do that, so if you've got any questions, post in the comments, because I would love to do a lot of sit-and talks with you guys. I would like to do a lot more hobby progression and other games. I'm saying this because I like 40k. It's hard to get other games out there because a lot of it down at my local game store is 40k. But I like to have a more balance of games than just 40k. Like I say, I want a broader audience, and I'm not saying I'm quitting 40k, but I'm taking a step back from it. And I say I'm taking a step back from it because to me it's getting too big, and I'm not jumping on the bandwagon here, because I know a lot of people they'll see one comment on a wargaming forum, then jump on the bandwagon. I've played a lot of 6th edition games. As you've seen in the battle reports, I am finding it too big. Theoretically, and I could be wrong, because I could be wrong in a certain rule or something, which is fair enough. If I am wrong, please post a comment down, and I'll be open to say that I'm wrong, because that's human nature. We can get stuff right and wrong at times. But theoretically, you can have 5 armies in one force, and for a player like me who likes a thematic battle with any units, like I say, I like using Hellbrutes and Dreadnoughts and stuff because I like walkers and stuff. I like seeing walkers do fun stuff. But unfortunately it's just getting too big. Like I say, 5 armies. Say you're fighting Tyranids and I was a Tyranids player and you were, say, Imperial Guard with Space Marine allies. That's fair enough, that seems thematic enough. Imperial Guard having a bit of trouble with some Tyranids, some Astartes, deep strike down from some drop pods, casting bolt of fire, heavy bolters, plasma guns, flamers, mowing down the hordes, just in time for a Carnifex smashing up them path. Seems fair enough. Then you got Codex Inquisition, which is okay, a bit 50-50 on the rules. Fair enough, Inquisitor retinue in a Land Raider shouting, "Purge the heretic!" or Xenos if it was a Gene Stealer cult. It could be seen as heresy. Then you've got the Imperial Knight Titan, which I find wrong. I like the idea of him, and I don't find him overpowered. I Vector Striked one to death, technically, in a game against Grey Knights. So, yeah, I did Vector Strike one with the Helldrake. That was nice. But, as I say, this should not have been this loophole that is in the Codex. This should have been an allied detachment. And when I say, like, a loophole, when the Knight Codex came out, a Necron player and a Grey Knight player at the local gaming store, you've seen the Necron player in past battle reports when he played as Necrons, we all looked at the Codex, and there was a little section in the detachments bit saying that you could have an allies detachment and this Knight Titan, which I find wrong, because it's a big bulky robot and it doesn't need to be outside of the allies circle. And I'm not going to start on Chaos not allying with Knight Titans. That's a different discussion for a different day. But yeah, that shouldn't have happened, because you can have a minimum of 1 up to maximum of 3 with an allied detachment. So that, to me, that's just money grabbing from Games Workshop. Then you got data slates, in which case there's now Tawin with Cadre Firebase support, the one for the Riptides and the Broadsides. So already this game has turned from Tyranids versus Avengers Assemble with their grandparents involved. In which case you roll your eyes, tut, and you may as well just start packing up your models, because you're not going to survive 2 turns. Okay, that was very biased and very aggressive, I will admit, but that is my opinion. Like I say, the 40k has always been that game where they've always said in the first 4 pages or something that it's the battle, it's a cinematic climax of what's happened in that world. There's always the 2 commanders, their personal forces, they want each other's heads, they go for each other's heads. So basically, 2 guys duking it out with Land Raiders smashing through Guardsman lines and Leman Russers blasting away the Chaos Marines, a Helldrake comes down and then gets intercepted by a Hydra flak tank, etc, etc. While the Space Marine Chaplain gives the Emperor's word in the form of a blunt trauma to the head on the Chaos Sorcerer, or something along those lines. It's always meant to be the semantic battle of the fate of a world, or a system, or a galaxy, whatever you want, in one game, in one battle. Now though, that one battle, instead of having that semantic climax, you've got the whole picture in it in one game, which doesn't help its narrative theory. The way Games Workshop says narrative theory is just an excuse to say, herder, everything, bang! And it's getting silly and pointless. No offence, I mean, don't get us wrong, I'm a big fan of giant robots and giant stumpy robots and giant tanks juking it out. I'm happy with that, but don't force us into it. And Games Workshop's forcing us into it, with the use of trying to incorporate as core rules, along with everything else. I wouldn't mind trying the Stomper out, but we've never played an Escalation game or Stronghold Assault, so, like I say, my personal opinion, they're cramming Epic into 40k, which is a bad thing due to the scale. So because of that, I want to take a step back from 40k. I'm not quitting it, and I will try and produce more still the same amount of content of 40k for you all there, but it will be a bit less. And this is where I'm saying about other games, because I want to play other games because I want to give off a general broader audience sense to you guys out there, because you guys are the ones who want to watch my videos, and this goes into what I wanted to make for the channel. I want to make a broad wargaming channel where people can watch and enjoy a wide variety of games and hopefully open up some minds to other games as well. As I said, quite a few of us have started Malifaux because it's a small skirmish pulp horror steampunk game, which I absolutely love steampunk. Hence why I started Arcanists and Guild, because I like the idea of all the witch hunters and Lords of Salem thematic Rob Zombie music video thing that they have going on with the Guild. And I like the Arcanist because Steamborg executioners and giant train robot things and with girders and stuff. It's cool. And ice monsters and stuff. Good. So I like Malifaux, and I'm hoping to produce more for Malifaux out there. We've also started the Batman miniatures game from Knights Models, which I am happy and chuffed with, mainly because I get to play with Victor Fries, also known as Mr. Freeze, who's my favourite character in the superhero genre. Because I love his backstory, I love his technology, I love his suit, and I love his freeze gun. He's one of the best. Well, I never call him villain because I don't see him as a villain. But protagonist or antagonist or, one of those guys sits back. At the end of the day, so apologies for that because notification just came up. At the end of the day, I want to use Mr. Freeze, and I will be using Mr. Freeze, and I will be using Scarecrow because he's cool. So I'm hoping to show more content with that because I enjoy the rules, I like it, it seems adaptable, it seems thematic, and as your characters are adapted to each situation during the game through the use of counters on their special stats, and I like that idea how they've executed that. So hoping for those two. I am personally interested in Mantic. I am personally interested in the Enforcers for the Dead Zone game because Iron Man ×8 because they look cool. And I'm also interested in Mars Attacks, the miniatures game, when that's released because Martians and all the zany, crazy 70s stuff. It's just over the top fun. So, plus I really like the Martians, and I wouldn't mind a little small army of Martians. Giant robots and stuff. Cool. So I'm hoping to do them too, and hoping to get a few people interested in your local gaming store with them. So off at the top, we've got 4 games already, hopefully for more content on the channel, which I'm hoping to start more content and more games and more battle reports, etc, etc with you guys. So that is what was next to the channel. Thank you for watching. This time I haven't tangented because I did this shoot twice before and I was tangenting like nobody's business. So, thank you for watching. Apologies on the Little Games Workshop rants. And just remembered, also what I want to do for the channel, very quickly, is a lot more of this to talk to you. Now, I'm not a competent guy, hence why you see all the mascots of the Lords and the Warpsmiths every time I talk on, like, past videos. But I'm hoping to do more of this with you guys. I'm hoping to do rambling videos or discussion videos about particular parts of the hobby and particularly parts of games in the hobby. I'm hoping to do sit and talks like Mini Wargaming does with you guys, like answers questions and with yous to know my audience, basically. I would like to know you guys, and hopefully vice versa. So if you've got any questions, stick them down in this comment section, and I'll try and make the first sit and talk video while answering your questions. I would like to do tacticas, more tacticas, and a few tutorial videos, as I've started making mecha tendrils from green stuff and paper clips, which I'm hoping to make a tutorial to show you guys how to make some, if you want to make your own Dark Mechanicum or Adeptus Mechanicus force, or Giant Robot Stompy Cthulhu force, wargaming in general. Hey! So, I'm hoping to do more tutorial vids on certain things I've picked up, and hopefully painting techniques maybe. I'm not sure about that, mainly because I'm a good painter, I'm not going to deny, but I'm not the best in terms of paint techniques. I'd like to do unboxings and reviews as well. Unboxings might be a bit hard, but reviews on certain books, games, codexes, units, I'd like to do as well. So more of this as well as everything else. So that should get more content on the channel for a wider hobby experience on this channel. So thank you for watching. I know I've tangented on a bit, and I did just do a mighty pause and then went on to a tangent or more content just now, so apologies for that, but thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for all your subscriptions and likes and dislikes and constructive criticism, etc, etc. Thank you for sticking through me through thick and thin, and I hope to see you in another 100 subscribers time. So this is the Warp Forge with 90 subscriber video. Thank you for watching, thank you for sticking through, and remember, keep on forging.